Broadcast live.
Yo, we out here with the homie Envy, you know.
What up, Slick?
Yo.
I had to take a sip, man. This is good wine.
It's good wine.
It's good wine, man. It's a Chardonnay.
See the
That
label.
that Moing Envy thing, you know.
You know what I mean?
Artistic edition.
You know, you are like the touch of Pretoria. Huh?
Straight
Got
up.
your own bottles
Straight
out
up.
here,
Straight
you
up.
know. Yo, man, firstly, I just want to say, I listened to the album like I was saying earlier on. I'm just glad I took my time with it.
Word.
It is a perfect hip-hop album.
Thank you, my G.
How long did it take you to get it together, firstly, you know, and what inspired you to just take that approach?
I think initially I had done an album called 730, and I had completed the album, but because I left the company that I was with back then, which was Roach Inc., I just left that album with them, so I didn't really want to mess with it that much, you know. And I felt like the direction of it was not what I intended on doing for a debut album.
Yeah.
So this one, Peanut Butter, took 9 years to create, because I legit started with it in 2010. Yeah.
Was it deliberate for you to go, I want to keep this? It's very simple. Skits, you know, beats, rhymes, order of starting from hard to getting into your emotions in the end. I mean, was this like, yo, I want to make my classic? Was that the view?
Not necessarily. I just wanted to tell my story. You know, I wanted people to listen to this album and get like an idea of who Envy is. I mean, I've always been typecasted as that punchline rapper, hardcore bars, boom bap, this and that. But I really wanted people to get a story of who I am. You know, there's a vulnerable side of me, there's the in love side of me, there's the happy side, sad and everything. So I wanted to encapsulate everything in one album, and I'm just glad that it came out the way it did.
So on the album, yo, you got like, and I want to just jump into it just like track by track, right? Opening up intro, rocking with the best.
Niggas in debt, you should see how they address me. Put they dough forward like it's money in the taxi. But if I meet a dude that out-raps me, I'll have him shake like a bad case of epilepsy.
You hear the beat, you write the rhymes. Why is this? Why does it become the opening?
We had such a long debate, myself and the boys, because we wanted to use Peanut Butter, the song which is the title song for the album, which is now at the end as an intro.
Good idea.
And the boys were like, nah, let's go in. Let's just go in heavy. So let's not try and build up or anything. Let's just go in heavy. That's you. That's how people remember you. And let's just start them like that, you know? So yeah, that's why we went with Rocking with the Best as the first song.
Yo, man, who produced Too Cool?
Too Cool was produced by a kid from the Val called King Blue.
Then you come speak to me, sounding like Hove, but you're looking kinda bleak to me. Man, it's more than just the outfit. See, it's more about the cheese and the shorty you come out with. And she got a...
It's crazy, the story with Too Cool, man, because, I mean, he sent me this beat. I was playing PlayStation with Raz, and we were just bored, and just got an email, and this kid's like, yo, I just got this beat, and I don't know, like, if you would like it, just listen to it. And I remember we literally stopped the game when we were playing, like, yo, this beat. This is serious, man. This is heat, you know. And we started working on Too Cool right then and there. You know, it was one of those where you just inspired at that moment and you just go in.
Like, isn't that a beat where you kind of, for me, that's like legendary Envy.
True. But I think people resonate more with Rocking with the Best. I think they see that as legendary Envy as opposed to Too Cool, you know.
I mean, for me, when I look at like anvils, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, I only caught up, I know you got history before anvils, but I only caught up with you on anvils. When I look at the anvils and I look at the beats that you guys were rocking, it was just, even they were well done, but it's hard to get guys who do beats like that well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those beats when I hear it, I'm like, this beat is too good. I it's difficult. It'll be difficult to rap on this beat.
It is. A lot of people have actually said that about Too Cool, but I had to find myself, man. Because the slow beats have always whooped my ass, to be honest with you. They've always whooped me, but I don't know, man. I took a different approach, and Raz was there as well, helping produce, you know, everything. So I think that's what made it easy for me.
Yeah. Tell me about it a lot with Ginger.
And get the competition off my me and 30 never gon' stop, no. Don't you know a nigga do a lot though? I can let you know, but you forgot though. Don't you know?
To be real with you, see, I think I went through a phase where I felt people are not necessarily appreciative of what we do. We go through sleepless nights trying to cook the music for you to listen to it for a minute and just call it trash, or you know what I mean? It's like people also listen to an album for 20 minutes and call it a classic. I had an issue with that for a while, so I wanted to sort of speak about just appreciate the fact that this is a process for us. You know, we go through a lot, and the kid who produced it, Mage C, actually hit me up. I think he had made this beat for Jabba, if I'm not lying. Yeah, I think so. And then obviously with what happened. And so he swung me the beat and he said, yo, I hear you on this record. And I got that. And he hit me up with the hook as well. So I initially now just got the vibe on that. And I was like, okay, cool. Who could I get? Who could sort of compliment me on a joint and who's also shared like the similar frustrations that I've had? And Ginger, like whenever I have conversations with him, he also tells me that, yo, he doesn't feel that much appreciated. So we just thought, hey man, let's just do a joint, man. Let's speak about it. Yeah.
I sometimes hear your flow at times, you know, your mainstream flow always like takes a bit from Jabba, you know?
Yeah. I won't even
You got a mainstream flow that takes from Jabba, you know? I literally picked that up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I took a lot from Jabba. I took a lot from Flabba as well. Proverb as well. I think growing up, those three were like literally the guys I used as a blueprint to carve my style, you know. A little bit from you as well, Slick. I won't tell you what it is, but it's like jealousy too. So yeah, man. I mean, I grew up listening to you, dude. So it's. I'm just glad that you guys today still. I mean, before the death, I got Jabba and Flabba. They both told me that we actually mess with your music. You know, you're one of our favorites. So I'm just glad, man. I'm happy.
I mean, look, I've always felt that, like, you know, I mean, I've always known you and Liz.
Yeah,
it's never been you on your own and Liz on your own, on his own. And I've always felt like maybe you've been going through some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why you're not as present as you should be, you know, in the musical space. So I don't know how correct that was, you know, because I've always felt that you should be giving us more, though. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's why I say this album for me was like, you are in your pocket when you're doing this.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't stop doing it.
Yeah. Look, man, for me, I went through a lot. Like, to be honest with you, I mean, I lost somebody that I was dating. I have a song about it on the album.
I was going to get that. I was going to get to that,
and
actually.
then I went through, like, back-to-back car accidents at some point. So I was not really in that frame of mind to record at some point. It took a while for me to get back into studio and start making music again. So I'm just glad, like, people, like my friends P. Dot, Blacklist, Tippy, Raz, you know, they were around during that whole turmoil, and I managed to get out of it. And it's because as well, man, I got inspired by a lot of the stuff that they were doing. So Les, I mean, he's on his third album now. He's on his second. So it was time for me to pull up my socks as well. I can't just sit down every day and mope around and say life is like this, life is like that. You know, I need to sort of like get up and do something.
Control, featuring Delight and Holy.
I'm so confused by the truth, I don't trust this, because you got me asking who am I? You see what's happening with you and I? It's only fair that we adjust this, cause you're beautiful and you mind lifting.
That's not even my song, to be honest with you. It was Holy's song. So what happened was I was in studio recording a song for Delight. And just when I got done with the verse, they were like, yo, listen, we've got something. Tell us what you think about this. And they bumped the joint. And I was just standing there like, they basically were baiting me in terms of, we want him to have this song, but as we want him to wild out. So it was that kind of connection with the joint. I literally fell in love the first time I heard it. So it just had the D-Light vocals on it at that point in time. Holy came through later on to put his stuff on. But yeah, I put on my verse, I think a week and a half later.
Yeah, D-Light was like, yo, I'm gonna get him on, just check.
Yeah.
And when you bump it, I'm sure you'll be like on the message on some, yo, well, he on, Holy, yeah, get your shit ready, he's on.
These guys actually even brought the song to my crib. They didn't even mail it or anything. They brought the record.
Oh, they set you up.
Straight up, yeah, man. So, yeah, that's how the joint was done, literally. It wasn't even supposed to be my joint. So I just took it because it was dope, really. And I like that vibe, you know. I felt it's also something very different. I like that kind of steez where a song is so left, you know, the beat changes, musically it's insane, you know. It plays everywhere, from there to there to there to there.
Oh man. Oh man, that's a joint. That's a joint. The arrangement.
Yeah.
Yo, this album is amazing.
Thank you, man.
You know, I always go when you get the right musicians and the right beats and the right people, no matter how long it takes, and it all comes together. That is almost like an album that's been blessed. Because an album is made by many parts.
True.
And if everyone is inviting, bringing this, all of a sudden you get this holy piece of work. You know what I mean? And your album is exactly that. Your album for me is going to be on repeat.
Yo, man.
I'm not lying. It is
like for real, Slick, it warms my heart hearing you say that, because when we made this and when I finally had the final track list, I was a bit nervous, to be honest with you, because I felt, would people still be appreciative of this kind of stuff? But at the back of my head, I'm thinking, but this is me. I'd rather give you the honest me than try and sort of temper with the sound and do things that are making me uncomfortable. So I'm just glad that people are actually reading it the same way that I wanted to put it out there, you know. So
broadcast live